Okay, so last week we shared on how to listen to the pulse of the heart. And so, as suggested last week, first you hear the pulse. So, you spend a few days hearing the beat of the heart, which is the beat of life, to hear your own breath, to hear your own heartbeat. And once you have found your sound, so this is your sound of existence. Um, on a very physical level, it may just be a pumping of the heart, but on an esoteric realm, when you enter the realm of ruhaniyat, this is something that will amaze you, because everything you are here, right? Every experience that you're having in this world is because of this. So just imagine, not from the head, just try to connect with this, with your heart. And this is called heart to heart connection. Heart to heart connection. Many a times you want to connect with someone else, their heart. But first you have to learn to connect with your own heart. So this is heart to heart connection. First you have to hear the heartbeat. After you have heard the heartbeat, it takes time. Sometimes it takes a week or even longer. And then once you have heard, or once you have manifested the heart, it's the awakening of the heart. Um the first is I talked about the Kalbe Murda, and then there's Bimar, and ultimately into Shahid, which is your essence, your ego merges into the sound. And when you have connected it with the name of the divine, the name of God, the name of Allah, and it becomes Allahu, Allahu, Allahu. And it takes a few months. It's a practice. It's a practice. It takes practice. And once you have joined these together, and if you sincerely do these every day, you will be amazed. Your every heartbeat will start singing the name of the divine. Then the outer rituals, the outer, stuff that we are told, you have to do this, you have to do that, they become less important. Uh, there's a saying of the Sufis. He said the mullah, the maximum he can reach or maximum he can go is to the house of God, which is the Kaaba. But the darwish, the one who has awakened the heart, reaches God directly. So a darwish reaches God, while the mullah only reaches the house of God. So that comes when you connect with the Dil Allah, Allah, God, when your heart starts to sing Allah and Allah and Allah. So that's what I discussed yesterday. It's, the last session. It was a very powerful tool. And again, sometimes even after receiving the tools, if it's not in our fate, it is not written in our destiny, we cannot use it. And if it is written in our destiny, then we use it. So that again depends on you. It's called the grace of the divine. Then we are able to use these tools and techniques. So I will humbly suggest that if you have listened to these sessions and you have been coming and attending these sessions, try this experiment for 6 months, even as short as 5 minutes. Do that. Listen to the beat, the pulse. The pulse must awaken first the sound itself have to be heard. Then the mind's tawajjuh, awareness have to be connected, and then together your heartbeat and your mind connects together. So this is the uh, alme jismani and alme rohani, both connects together. So this is what we discussed last week, and today there's another session. We will be diving deep into another concept, into more deeper concepts of the Sufis, of the sages of the past, the sages of the desert. So I'm going to start today's session with a quotation from Rumi's poetry. Now Rumi says, in truth, I am not here. In truth, I am not here. This is my shadow. Okay, he says this body is my shadow. In truth, I am not here. This body is my shadow. This that you see is my shadow. I dwell behind the curtain. I dwell behind the curtain. So this is shadow. This world that you see is actually the shadow. The real you is behind the curtain. Now, this is called Hakikate Jasmani, the reality of the time and space. And then there is a Hakikate Ruhani, which is the realm of the Ruh. Okay, so this is the Hakikate Jasmani, and then there is a Hakikate Ruhani. Ruhani, Ruh. Ruh means your soul, the realm of the soul. Now, this may seem very esoterical, and but if you were to just dive deep into this, the Hakikate Jasmani is you with your story, and Hakikate Ruhani is you without your story. That's it. You don't have to die to experience the Ruh. The Ruh, in fact, the only thing you can experience is the Ruh, because the shadow, the Jasmani, okay, is the shadow, and we only see the shadow. So anytime when you sit at tasawwuf, the Sufis call this a tasawwuf, usually translated as meditation. And tasawwuf, as explained by the Sufi masters, al tasawwuf haqiqat la rasam lahu. Meditation or tasawwuf is when you have no stages of the mind and you have no form. That's called tasawwuf. And that is the haqiqate ruhani. If you can ever sit and you sit without your story. Now, every time you're sitting, you're walking, you're eating, there's a story going on. Even when you sleep at night, the dream comes. And then the dream story starts. So at night, you go into different dimensions in your dream. But the reality is, even while you are awakened, you enter different dimensions every time. In the presence of your parents, you are in a different dimension. In the presence of your teacher, you are in a different dimension. In presence of someone whom you are working for or whom are working for you, you are in different dimension. So there are different dimensions, different stories that are constantly being narrated. Like the spider takes the web out, like that you are creating your world. Now, there is part of you which is independent of this world. If you can even experience that for a few moments, for a few seconds, that is your Ruh. Your Ruh is when you have shut your story. Okay, and the word is when your storybook is open. So this is the difference between the realm of the shadow and the realm of the Ruh. Now, this is called Iman. This is called Iman. Okay, I'm going very slow. This is Iman, where you are able to see yourself without your story. Once you are in the story, you are lost. That's the ego. Iman is Imana. E means a movement. E means movement. Constant movement is known as E. Ma means I. And Na means not. Okay, so Iman means movement of the I is not. It's just a shadow. When you are able to see yourself without movement, when I say movement, constantly this is moving. And I'm going back again, your story. At night, dream comes. It's the constant. Have you ever felt yourself without movement? Every time you're moving. Even when the physical body is not moving, the mind is moving. Mind moving, eyes moving, constantly eyes moving. Have you ever stilled your eyes? Our eyes are always moving. Even at night when you dream, during the dream process, the mind is moving. As long as there's movement, you are part of the ego. When the movement stops, when the room manifests, in the presence of the divine, there's no movement. In the presence of the divine, there's always stillness. That is called adab. When you're in the presence of someone who is great, you stop, you don't move. And that's also part of the namaz, where you stand still. And when your internal part becomes still, when you have gone beyond the alme jasmani or hakikate jasmani to hakikate rohani, ruh, there's a stillness. There are problems outside. There's so many problems outside. But there's part of you which is still. The moment you can touch that still point, that is called iman. That point, I-A-Ma-Na. The point which doesn't move is called iman. So this gives birth to Vajd. This gives birth to Vajd, ecstasy. If you have ever experienced even for a second, you know what I'm talking about. So today's session, we're going to dive deeper into the breath and also chanting the name of the divine with the breath. So far, I've been introducing you to chant internally. Today, we will chant externally as well, so that our mind can be silenced. When you are chanting out loud, mind easily silences. But once the mind has silence, then you just need to sit and you recite the name of the divine within yourself. Now, before we dive into this meditation, there's a story, beautiful story. This is the story of Mansur. Mansur, those of you who know Mansur, in his ultimate realization, he declared this Anaula Haq, which means I am the truth, and which the mullahs did not like, and he was killed. He was cut joint by joint because he said, I am the truth. This is another beautiful concept of the Sufis, which sometimes cannot be digested by the mullahs. And the concept of Wahdat al-Wajud, which means my creator and me are one. The creator and the creation are one. Baba Fariduddin, he says, Farida khalq khalq mein khalq base rab mahe. Great Sufi master, he says, the creator is within the creation and the creation is within the creator. So when he declared that, he was, killed. But there's a story, beautiful part of his life when he met his master for the first time. So when he met his master for the first time, he came, his master's name was Junaid. When he came in the presence of Junaid, he have heard that Junaid has the keys to the inner secrets, and he has awakened his heart, and so he went to meet him. So on this specific day, he came, and as he entered the mahfil where he was sitting and chanting and sharing the secrets of the heart, as he saw Mansur from far, he said, which means stop, don't come, sit. He didn't say anything. He said, which means stop and sit. And he said, why? I can't come. He said, come in alone. He says, come in alone. And Mansur said, I am alone. He said, close your eyes. As he closed his eyes, he found that there were so many voices in the head. There was uncountable people talking inside, fighting inside. Have you ever had this experience where the moment you close your eyes, there are so many voices in the head, and these voices are fighting with each other? It's a lot of illusion. Problem doesn't even exist. They have created the problem, and then the two voices are there was a war going on. And Junaid said, only come in when you are alone. Because if you come with the crowd, It is not other. You are not in other. Only aloneness, only by yourself, you can enter the house of the divine. You cannot bring anything along. So he looks in, and there was uncountable thoughts. He tried to stop them. He says, only come in when you are alone. So he kept his eyes closed, and there was voices. They don't want to stop. One day came, next day also, as he was about to stop, he said, as he was about to enter, he says, are you alone? He looks in, and there was still voices inside. And they say, the story says it happens for months and months and months. Every day he would come, and there will be so many voices in the head. And like that, 1 year passed. He was not allowed into the mehfil. He was not allowed into the inner congregation. And after 1 year, he realized that these voices are not going to stop. Why do I even bother to stop these voices? Now, the first step is these inner voices. For tasawwuf to bloom, these voices must stop. Inner chattering, inner narration must stop. That's the first, to recognize there's voices in the head. Number two, the mistake is we try to stop them. We try to silence them. The moment you silence them, the moment you want to stop them, you're already empowering them. And this is also for day-to-day solution. Many a time a repetitive thought pattern starts, and we want to stop it, we can't stop it. And we want to even impress it, suppress it. The more you suppress it, the more you don't want it, you're already giving it awareness, it's growing. He said, they don't even exist. Why do I even suppress it? So he decided to sit outside and decided to clean the shoes of all those who were in the mehfil. So every day he would come, he will just sit outside. The master will still say like this. He will sit outside and he starts to clean the shoe. And for 1 year it continued. 1 year it continued. So first year he was constantly fighting with the mind. And second year he said, why I should fight with it? Let it be. It is doing what it's supposed to do. Let me do something higher than just becoming aware and trying to stop this narration that is going on in the head. So he decided to serve. Serve. This is a very important thing. To meet the divine, you must know how to serve. Service. In the Sikh tradition, we call this seva. Serving those, who don't have enough. That's the important thing. So now he started to serve the humanity. And as he cleansed the shoes of those who were meditating in the congregation, he, with time, also cleaned his mind. Seva. Service. As he cleansed the shoes, he cleansed his mind. And after 1 year, the master, so this is the second year, instead of fighting and engaging with the mind, find some activity where you are serving the creation of God. Then after the second year, the master himself, Junaid, came and he said, give me your hand. And he held his hand and he brought him into the mehfil after 2 years. He said, now you sit here. And they sat, and for 1 year he sat in the presence of the master. And on the third year, when it was completed, Junaid said, now you are ready, you can go. So this is called the transmission, where you clean your heart, you clean your mind, you become pure, and then the divine light manifests in you. So now in this meditation, I want you to close your eyes and spine straight and become aware of the coming and the going of the breath, and see any narration that is going on, and try not to fight with the narration, try not to fight with those thoughts. Let it come, let it go. Let it come, let it go. See the thoughts in the head like you will see cars on the road. You don't identify with the red car, you don't identify with the blue car, you don't identify with the white car. So similarly, let the thoughts come and go. You don't identify with any of these thoughts, and let them come, let them go. Beautiful. And now we will do our cleansing process where we will cleanse our body. And those of you who have been with me, we inhale through the O mouth and we exhale through the O mouth. So this is to cleanse the body. Eyes will be closed, spine straight, hands on your knees. And O mouth, inhale through the O mouth and exhale through the O mouth. Inhale through the O mouth and exhale through the O mouth. Inhale through the O mouth, exhale through the O mouth. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale powerfully, O mouth. Exhale powerfully, O mouth. Inhale powerfully, O mouth. And exhale powerfully, O mouth. One more time, inhale. And please hold the breath. As you hold your breath, I want you to tense your eyes. Tense your eyes, tense your forehead, tense your skull, and tense your shoulders, tense your arms, and tense your feet, tense your legs, and tense your whole body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your whole face, and O mouth, exhale. Just one more round. Inhale, O mouth. Exhale, O mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, O mouth. Exhale, O mouth. Inhale deep. Exhale deep. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and hold. And as you hold your breath, tense your eyes, tense your forehead, tense your skull, tense your shoulders, tense your face, tense your tongue, tense your jaws, tense your chest, tense your navel, tense your arms, tense your legs, tense your feet from head to toe, squeeze and tense every part of your body. Just become angry, and any emotion that needs to be released, manifest that emotion, squeeze and manifest any emotion that you want to release. And now, O mouth, exhale. And sit and don't move for 30 seconds. And become aware of the sensations, the dance and the pulse in the body. The pulse in the body. The breath cleanses you. The dam makes you pure so that the Ru, the silenced you, the you without your story, you with the storybook closed, can be experienced. So what you're experiencing now is the doorway to the Hakikte Ruhani or Alme Ruhani, the realm of beingness, the realm of who it is called, where you just exist without your story. I repeat, who, this is the Alme who, where you exist without your story. For a few seconds, you forget yourself, you forget your problems, you forget your stories. You are just being you in your pure essence. And it stays for a few seconds only. Beautiful. And now inhale, O mouth, and hold, and exhale. And very slowly open your eyes. And you can shake your body. If you want to, you can tap your body. And this is, you can do a number of rounds with this. I just did 2 rounds, now you can do 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds. just to cleanse the body. This gives you a kind of alertness, a kind of awareness if you do it right. So today's session, we will do the recitation of Allahu first loud out, and then we will do it with the breath. So I'll teach you both the process of doing it where the spine is straight. If you're sitting on the floor, it is good. If not, your spine has to be straight. It's very good. And hands are on the knees like this. So first, you tilt your head towards the left as far as you can. And then you will have to tilt your head towards the right. Okay, so just the tilting first. So tilting towards the left and then tilting towards the right. So we will be reciting Allahu, Allahu, which is 3 beats. Allahu, 3 beats. Okay, the 3 words. Okay, the 3 words, 3 realms. So as you bring your head towards the left side, you will be reciting. So hands will be here. Allahu, 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 Allahu. Okay, as far as you can. If you have any issues with your spine, it doesn't matter. You don't have to go very, down towards your knees, as far as you can go. So we'll do this about 2 minutes, and make sure, become aware of the tongue as it strikes the upper palate. So the tongue strikes the upper palate. Become aware where exactly the tongue touches. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time, and my tawajjuh, my awareness, my attention is in my tongue, and how it touches the upper palate. Now, the upper palate of your mouth, is corresponding to the dome of your mouth. Okay, the dome of your mouth corresponds to the dome of the cosmos. The dome of the cosmos. And that's another beautiful concept of the Sufis, that whatever is outside is actually inside. So every, there are meridians on your dome. There are meridians in the dome area. If you take your tongue and you press, there are points there. There are meridians. Every of these meridian corresponds to one of the stars. Can you believe that? Every point in the upper palate, you take your tongue and just place it behind the teeth and all that, you will see some curves. There are some slopes up and down. There are points. All these points corresponds to the different stars in the galaxy. So according to one belief, the stars control your destiny. Okay, when the stars are not aligned, they say the stars are aligned and the stars are not aligned. We use these terms. So when the stars are not aligned, you cannot bloom. And one way is to go to astrologers, okay, try to align them. The other way is you yourself can align your stars, aligning your destiny. When the tongue, which represents the lower nature, okay, this is the lower world. The tongue and below, this is the realm of the humans, okay, and the upper is the realm of the higher beings, the realm of the stars, the Rohaniyat. So the mouth, because it is open, the upper world and the lower world is divided. So you're always two. A part of you wants to do a good act. A part of you creates the hindrance to the good act. Okay. And maybe a part of you wants to do something wrong. The other part says, no, you shall not do. So there's always two. When you're doing the right thing, the wrong side comes and tells you. When you want to do the wrong thing, the right side comes and guides you. Okay. So this is you are torn between the two worlds. Why? Because there is a mouth opening. This part, if you go behind, there's a space between the upper world and the lower world. So when you take the tongue, which is you, tongue is you. Okay, the tongue represents you, because whatever you are, okay, if you want to study somebody, If you want to know somebody, if you want to know the character of somebody, you look at the words that person uses. So when the tongue moves, it tells you the personality of the person. Okay, so whatever you are, the tongue exposes you, because the tongue is the direct representative of the hidden you. So when you, as the tongue, uses the sacred sound, okay, kalma, we call it mantra, when it strikes the points on the dome of the mouth, that dome, that points corresponds to the stars. Automatically the stars become aligned, because you're using a very high frequency sound, the name of the divine, which is the highest than the higher. So using the sacred sound to change your destiny, your meridians will be activated. These points on the dome of the mouth will be activated. When they are activated, they correspond to the stars. The stars will be activated. Your destiny will be activated. Your whole life will be activated just by moving the tongue the right way. There are two ways to move the tongue. The tongue to move the wrong way, the tongue to use the right way. This is the tongue, the divine. The Sufi says the tongue was given to chant the name of the divine. That is the only reason why you have the tongue, according to the Sufis. So we are engaging our tongue. And this is what it means to walk the right path. When your tongue touches the meridian points, now, according to science, modern research, what happens? When you strike this point, there was a research done on this. When you strike the tongue in the same location, okay, Allahu, 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 same point. When the water falls on the stone, for years and years and years, even the stone breaks. A research was done that a person who is reciting the name of the divine again and again and strikes in the same place, this activates the hypothalamus, which with age, stops working. And as the hypothalamus is activated with time, the sound, the projection, the pulse that is created, Allahu, Allahu, the same point. They say the pituitary gland is activated. This is the point of the pituitary gland. The frontal lobe is activated. When the frontal lobe is activated, you can think in the moment. Anxiety. Why? Because you cannot handle the moment, because your frontal lobe is not active. Your pituitary gland becomes active and you can handle situations very well. You don't freak out. You stay stable. That is why when your frontal lobe or your pituitary is activated, it's called the third eye in the yogic teachings. After the pituitary gland, then your pineal gland, which is here, pineal gland, which is having access to the hidden you, which is having access to the reality which our five senses don't see, having access to the sixth dimension, it is called. This happens when the tongue just strikes at one location all the time. So that is the power of projecting the sound of the divine with the tongue. So let's start our meditation, and I will chant with you for some time, and then I'll guide you on the way. Be yourself. Spine is relaxed, body is relaxed, face is relaxed, and eyes closed. And first on the left and then on to the right. And let's start this together. Allahu, 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 Allahu. Go deeper. Allahu, louder. Allahu, 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 Allahu. Beautiful. Allahu, 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 Allahu. Beautiful. Allahu. Go deeper. Allahu. Forget everything. Allahu. 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 Beautiful. Keep up. Allahu. 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 Faster. Allahu. 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 Tongue. Allahu. Become aware. Allahu. The tongue. Allahu. Allahu. Your tongue. Allahu. 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 Deeper. Allahu. Your navel. Allahu. Use your navel. Allahu. 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 Navel. Allahu. Project from the navel. Allahu. Project from the navel. Project from the navel. Use your navel and the tongue. Synchronize the sound with the tongue and with the navel. Project the sound from the navel. As you say who, you project from the navel out. Project the sound. Project the sound from the navel. Throw it out. Throw it out. Beautiful. And make sure the tongue and your navel and the breath all synchronized. Go deeper, my friends. Go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper. How to go deeper? Become aware of the sound. Forget everything. Forget your story. Forget your story. Allah, Allah kau. Allah raje tu na raho. You say Allah to such an extent that only Allah remains and your wajud and yourself and your ego dissolves. Beautiful. 45 seconds. Beautiful. Keep up, keep up, keep up. Forget everything. Become aware of only the sound. Become aware of only the sound. The sound. Just dissolve into the realm of sound. Into the realm of the sound. Beautiful. The tongue. Become aware where exactly it touches. The tapping of the upper palate with the tongue. The tapping of the upper palate with the tongue. Beautiful. Keep up, keep up. And 30 seconds. And 30 seconds. Beautiful. Just the tongue and your navel. Very important. Forget your narratives going on in the head. Forget the storyline that is going in the head. Just become aware of the sound. Beautiful. 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 And last a few seconds. Last a few seconds. Beautiful. And now inhale and hold. Hold the breath. Hold the breath. Hold the breath. And pull your navel in and up. Pull your navel in and up. And squeeze your whole body. Squeeze your whole body. Tense your whole body. And through the nose, exhale. One more time. Inhale through the nose. And hold. And just tense the whole body, tense the whole body, tense the whole body, tense your skull, your forehead, your spine, from head to toe. Squeeze every part of your body. Tense your hands into very tight fist. Make your hands into fist, tight fist. Squeeze the body so that all the tension and all the impurities can be removed. And through the nose, exhale. And just sit still, don't move. Don't move. Now, this is becoming aware of the sensations of the body. Beautiful. Don't go back to your head. Feel the sensations of your body. From the hakikate or alme jismani into the alme ruhani. And then into the alme nurani. From jismani, beautiful. You become aware of the next realm, the alme ruhani, and then into the alme nurani, the light, the nur. Beautiful. Don't move just for 10 seconds more. Beautiful. Inhale and hold and exhale. And now slowly open your eyes. We enter the next part of the zikr. Now, instead of moving the tongue, we just bring the awareness to the breath. So same thing, as you bring your head towards the left side, mentally you are chanting Allah, and as you exhale towards the right side, you are mentally reciting Hu. Okay, mentally now. Mentally, as you inhale, as you come down to the left side, you mentally recite Allah, and as you come towards the right side, you mentally recite Hu. Now, look at this for a second. When you recite Allah, which is 2 bits, you will be inhaling 2 sniffs of breath. Mentally, Allah, Hu. I repeat one more time. Mentally, Allah. 2 times I'm reciting mentally and 2 times I'm sniffing. And then on the right side, exhale, Hu. So it will look something like this. I hope you can hear my breath. So it is one more time. So it is sniffing 2 times, Allah, Hu, Allah, Hu. And I will be chanting the mantra, or I'll be chanting the kalma, the citation, so that you all can be in the same beat. Okay? So when I say Allah, you inhale. And when I say Hu, you exhale. Okay? Be with me. If you can't, just find your own beat. I'll be with you for a few moments, then I'll let you go as you are. Okay? Spine straight, left hand bring on the knees. And we start on the left side. Allah, Hu. Exhale. Come to the left side. Allah 2 times. And Hu. And here we go. Allah, Hu. 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 Keep up. Keep up, keep up. Go a bit faster if you can for medical reasons. Relax. Other than that, keep up, keep up. Allahu, 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 Allahu. Keep up, keep up. So you are inhaling 2 beats and you exhaling 1 beat. You are inhaling 2 beats and you exhaling 1 beat. Beautiful. Keep up, keep up. Go deeper. Become aware of the breath, the dam as it goes in. This is the real tasbih. Every breath that you inhale is the 1 beat of the tasbih. Keep up, keep up, keep up. Beautiful. Go deeper, my friends. Go deeper. Become aware of the breath and try to hear the name of the divine, the name of Allah in your breath. Your breath must sing the song. Engage your mind, your tawajjuh, your awareness into the breath. Every sip of the breath that you are inhaling is 1 beat of the tasbih. Beautiful. Try to hear the sound of Allah who in your breath. In your breath. Infuse the name of Allah and who into your breath. Infuse it so that the breath, which is in the realm of the time and space, which is known as Alme Jasmani, and you infuse it with Ruhaniyat, the breath brings you to the realm of Alme Ruhani. And then when you forget yourself and only your beingness remains, you come in presence of the self or the divine, then you enter the realm of Alme Nurani. Beautiful. Go deeper, go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. Totally infuse your sound, your mind, your awareness into the breath, the sound into the breath. Every bit of the tasbih, every beat of the tasbih of the breath. Beautiful. Go deeper, deeper. This is your link with your creator. This is your link with Allah. This is your link with life. This is your link with the world. And if you can put Noor, if you can put the name of the divine, if you can infuse it with your Ruh, it will bring you to the realm of Noor, the realm of Nurani. Beautiful. Keep up, keep up, keep up. The Sufis, they mention beautifully. जब खुद को ढूंढता हूं मैं तो तुझको पाता हूं. जब तुझको ढूंढता हूं मैं तो खुद को पाता हूं. When I went to find myself, I found God. And when I went to find God, I found myself. Beautiful. Just an extra minute, my friends. Go deeper. Be possessed with the sound of Allah. Forget the nafs. Forget your ego. Forget your lower self. Just become pure sound. Your breath must sing the song of the divine. Your breath must sing the name of Allah. It has gone deeper into your breath, into your being, into your life. Now, your life is singing the name of the divine. Previously, your tongue was singing the song. Now, even your breath is singing the song. Beautiful. The song of the divine. Beautiful. Keep up, keep up, keep up. Almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there. Allahu, 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 Allahu. Deeper, deeper. You must infuse yourself with Noor. You must infuse yourself with the light, with the Ruh, with the Noor. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Last 45 seconds. Allahu, 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 and inhale through the nose and hold. And as you hold your breath, become aware of the sensations in the body. Become aware of the sensations in the body. Don't move and hold the breath of life, the breath which you have infused with Noor. And through the nose, exhale, my friends. One more time, powerfully inhale through the nose. And hold your breath. And please tense your face, tense your eyes, tense your skull, tense your whole body. Feel the sensations, the awakening of your body. Your body starts to pulsate. Your body starts to pulsate. This is life. This is life. You're feeling life. You have become alive. And through the nose, exhale. For the last time, inhale. And hold. And hold. And hold. And hold. And exhale. And don't move. This is the space of tasawwuf. Al-tasawwuf haqiqat la rasam lahu. The space of tasawwuf is, there is no form, there is no movement. There's no movement, there's the centering, there's an anchoring, there's the presence. From the Alme Ansani, Alme Jismani, through the help of the Dam, you enter the Alme Rohani, and then into the Alme Nurani. Asmani, from Ansani to Asmani to Rohani to Nurani, all through the breath. In the sacred writing of the Al-Quran, it's mentioned that the divine is closer than the breath vein. So through the breath, you can assess that which is closer than the breath vein. "15 seconds. जब खुद को ढूंढता हूं मैं तो तुझको पाता हूं। जब तुझको ढूंढता हूं मैं तो खुद को पाता हूं। When I want to find myself, I found the God, and when I went to find God, I found myself." And beautiful. Inhale and hold and exhale. And very slowly, you can open your eyes and you can shake yourself and you can tap your body if there's a need to. You can stretch your legs and you can tap yourself. You can tap your navel, you can tap your heart, and you can inhale, hold, and you can shake whole body, shake the body, and exhale. So this one is another beautiful meditation. If your mind is too wild, and then this is how you can start. First, you chant with the tongue, and then once you have got hold of that beat, Then you chant with the breath. Chanting with the breath with the dum is higher than chanting with the tongue. The tongue belongs to the realm of the Jismani or Ansani, which is the realm of the humans. And when you engage the breath, you enter the realm of Ruhani, the Alme Ruhani, which will bring you to the Alme Nurani. So this is the way to do, another way to do zikr. So I did very short, you know, you can do it longer. Usually it is advisable 5 minutes of chanting with the tongue, zikre zabani, zikre zubani. Then after that you go into the zikr with the breath, with the dam, just inhaling, exhaling. So this is very important. Make sure you get the deep. So the beat. So is inhale Allah, and then on this side hu. So it's, and then it can go very fast. So it's like a camel ride, that beat. Because these meditations were born in the desert. They were found, you know, in all that which existed in the realm of the desert. So the whole camel ride happens. The camel is your mind. Okay, the camel is your mind, and your consciousness rides over the camel, which is the mind, and then it takes you to, you know, the inner world, the inner realm of Rohani. And that's a Sufi poetry, you know, very much related just what we did. It's in Hindi. It's beautiful if you can understand. It's a kaun hai belagam sason mein. Kaun hai belagam sason mein. Okay, something wild in the breath. You know, when the breath moves, mind moves. So it's belagam. And if you can control the saas, the breath, you can have lagam. You can control your mind. कौन है बेलगाम सांसों में, फिर रहा है बेनाम सांसों में. So कौन है बेलगाम सांसों में, फिर रहा है बेनाम सांसों में. There's something which is unnameable in the breath. In your breath, there is something which cannot be named, cannot be experienced by the realm of the mind. It is there in the breath. कौन है बेलगाम सांसों में, फिर रहा है बेनाम सांसों में. नेक्स्ट, ढूंढ अपना मुकाम सांसों में. ढूंढ अपना मुकाम सांसों में. One is hal, one is muqam. These are two beautiful words in the Sufi terminology. Hal means that which is constantly moving. One moment you are happy, next moment you are sad. Constantly moving. It's called hal. Then one is muqam. Muqam is stationary. How to be stationary? How to have your anchoring despite whatever is happening outside. The Sufi says, "Dhoond apna muqam saason mein." You want to find that non-moving being in you. You want to assess the ruh in you. You have to go through the breath. Dhoond apna muqam saason mein. Next, सांस वाला ही सांस में जम है. सांस वाला ही सांस में जम है. The owner of the breath is within the breath. Very beautiful. The owner of the breath is within the breath, which is God, divine. He is the owner of your breath. In the sacred writings, it is stated, when the divine created man, then he infused his breath inside. So where is this breath coming from? It's coming from the divine. So सांस वाला ही सांस में जम है. The owner of the breath is within the breath. Don't find him anywhere else. सांस वाला ही सांस में जम है. गौर कर सुबह शाम सांसों में. Constantly become aware of your breath day and night. बंदगी को है सांस से निस्बत. बंदगी को है सांस से निस्बत. If you want to do bandagi, so Maulana Room says, जिंदगी जिंदगी आमद बराए बंदगी. जिंदगी जिंदगी लाइफ आमद बराए बंदगी. जिंदगी बेबंदगी शर्मिंदगी. जिंदगी आमद बराए बंदगी. जिंदगी बेबंदगी शर्मिंदगी. He says, Zindagi, life, was given for bandagi. What is bandagi? Bandgi. Band means to close. Gi means ego. Bandagi means to control your ego, to close your ego and open yourself to the cosmos, the divine. That is called bandagi. When you can control what you see, what you don't see, when you can control what you can hear, what you don't hear, you can control what to speak and what not to speak. You are in control of your five senses. That is called bandagi. Bandagi also means to worship the divine, to experience the rohaniyat within yourself. So zindagi, amad barai bandagi. Zindagi was given to you for bandagi, to know your creator, to know your divine. And zindagi be bandagi, that is zindagi, that life which don't has bandagi, is a sharmindagi, it's a shame. This is what we are learning. We are learning the techniques and the tools of bandagi given by the Sufis, the sages of the desert. The sages of the desert. Their tools, their techniques. बंदगी को है निस्बत. बंदगी को है सांस से निस्बत. वक्त का है निजाम आंखों में. वक्त का निजाम है आंखों में. Time is experienced through the eyes. मेरे होने का और ना होने का इंतजाम है सांसों में. मेरे होने का और ना होने का इंतजाम है सांसों में. Your being and your non-being, the key to your existence and non-existence is in your breath. So breath is the doorway to the divine. Breath is the doorway to the world. The breath is the doorway to you. The sooner you understand, the faster you will be able to do bandagi. The faster you will be able to control and channel your energy towards the right direction. Today's world, there's so much information going on. So much information going on everywhere. You on the Google, on whatever you type, you give you uncountable perspective. There's so much information and there's so much confusion. Clarity, as by the Sufis, is here. It's right here. Everything is here. World is here. Known world is here, unknown world is here. The faster you can control your dam, the faster you become kalandar. Damadam, mast kalandar. You become mast. Outside world, it will keep running, but it doesn't affect you anymore. It doesn't affect you anymore. Your state of mind is not moved by what is happening outside. You have found your ruh, you have found your muqam. You're no more in the realm of hal. So this is a simple meditation, a simple tool that you can use. And I think we have some time. If there's any question that anybody would like to ask. If not, we will call it a day. And we will meet for our last session, which is the coming, not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, 4 sessions. And if you have no question, we will stay in touch, and we will see you the following Thursday. And that session, we will have some Q&As. And if you have any questions on live or any questions in relation to the tools and the techniques that we have learned, feel free to ask. So if you have any question, if not,
Hi, Amandeep. I would like to ask a question.
yes.
When we're sitting in the cross leg, which is better, to sit in the half Padmasana or full Padmasana, or simply like Sukhasana, like just a cross leg?
Yeah, so
Or
it all
if I
depends. Hmm.
and if I even sit in half Padmasana or full Padmasana, can I alter the leg in between of the meditation sometime?
Beautiful. So whatever you are comfortable with, you can sit in the easy pose, which is just your legs crossed, or you can sit
Mhm.
in Ardha Padmasana, which is one leg over the other,
Yes, I know.
and whatever you are comfortable with, and you can always change your posture in between. That's not a problem at all. The idea behind the meditation and these tools is to make you at ease with whatever you do, because if you are not at ease as far as the physical body is concerned, you will not be able to go deeper into the realm of the Ruh and the realm of the Nur. So, in between, if you feel you need to change and open your legs for a few seconds and change them, it's totally fine. It's totally fine.
And
Be at
also,
ease with yourself.
Sometimes I used to do meditation in Vajrasana, which is also a meditative posture as per the yoga. So can
Yes,
it be for this also?
yes. So, thank you for that. So, that's another posture. Vajrasana is the same posture, which is usually, when you read namaz, where you bend your
Yes.
knees backwards, right? So, that's
Mm.
another perfect posture for doing this meditation that we did today. It's very powerful, and it's also very good for digestion.
Okay.
So after food, if you can sit in Vajrasana, okay, like you will sit in the namaz, it helps to intensify the heat in the body, and it helps to activate. It's called the Agana Granthi, the knot of fire, which helps to digest food. So it's very good for digesting food as well as digesting any thoughts. So if you have a lot of thoughts, another thing you can do is sit on the rock pose or Vajrasana, which helps to digest your mind, your mental digestion, as well as the food, as far as the physical body is concerned. So that's another beautiful posture you can sit in. And also, you can also sit on the chair. It doesn't, matter. As you go deeper and deeper into the realm of Rohaniyat and Nuraniyat, the physical posture don't have any meaning anymore. It's only in the start.
Thank you.
And it,
Yogi, Yogi
yeah.
Amandeep, I have a question. I was really intrigued by your story of the tongue touching the dome of your mouth when you do zikr. And I'd like your perspective, because when we do bandagi, we don't use the tongue. We just say our word in our mind. But I really like your story, if you will, or actually a scientific explanation of how the movement of the tongue actually impacts your pituitary gland and your hypothalamus and pineal gland. So
Mm.
can you provide a perspective on, when we're using the word, whatever that is, the ratio of not using the tongue really to get into your whole being, and using the tongue to do whatever it is that you talked about?
Yeah. So there are three levels of meditation, or three levels of chanting. Okay, in the realm of the Sufis or Islam, we call it Zikar. In the Sikh
Mm-hmm,
tradition, Hindu tradition, this is called Simran. Simran also
mm-hmm,
means, Simran means to contemplate. Zikr is the same meaning, remembrance. That's what it was translated as. So in the beginning, when a person starts the spiritual path, when the mind is wild, okay, it is helpful to start with the physical body, okay, with the physical organs. So tongue is used in the beginning. So the tongue is constantly used with the mantra, with the kalma, with the chanting. But as you
mm-hmm,
evolve,
mm-hmm.
you don't need to move your tongue.
Okay,
So not
okay,
moving the tongue is the next stage.
okay, okay.
Okay.
That
Now,
that really helps.
so
Okay,
the first stage is to move the tongue.
yeah.
Okay. So this is with Jaban, your Jabani. Okay.
Yes.
Only your
Yes.
tongue moves because the mind is wild. If we ask you to chant, you just use your mind. Your mind is going to lead you wherever, you know. So to
Indeed.
anchor yourself. So
Mhm.
using the tongue
Mhm.
opens the door only.
Mhm.
It just opens the
Mhm.
door. Then when you do it with the mind, it helps you to step into the door.
Mhm.
Okay, let's put it this way. When you use your tongue, the tongue, because it gives an anchoring, it creates a sound, it creates a sensation, so it's easy for the mind to anchor.
Mhm.
When a child learns to walk, we
Mhm.
give him a walker. It holds on to something which is tangible, and then it
Right. Right.
walks. So this
Okay.
is the first step, to chant with the tongue. And when
Okay.
you chant with the tongue, of course, it stimulates, and all this is research done on that. But then the next level, this is one, opens the door. The next level, when you don't move the tongue is touching the palate, just close mouth.
Okay.
Your mind starts to chant. Now the door is open with the tongue. Now with the mind, you are walking into paradise.
Got it. Got it. And
Then
so,
next
oh, go ahead.
level,
Sorry. Yeah.
and then the third level. The third level is even your mind don't chant anymore. Because in the realm, in the presence of the divine, okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, in the presence of the divine, there's no movement.
Mm-hmm.
There's no movement. In the third
Mm-hmm.
realm, in the third level of Zikr,
Mm-hmm.
mind don't moves, tongue also don't move.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the who,
Mm-hmm.
beingness. Because in the presence of that which is not moving, which is called the divine, in its presence, there is no movement. Even the mind stops. The tongue stops, the mind stops. The beingness. Now, there are three realms: the realm of thinking, the realm of feeling, and the realm of being.
Mm-hmm.
Presence, just presence. There is no sound, there is no word. It is experiencing the presence of Allah. To
Yeah.
experience the presence of Allah, your mind also cannot be there, because
Yeah.
your mind is collective information, your mind is concepts, your mind is ideas.
Yes.
When the mind is not there, so
Yeah.
that ultimate zikr
Yeah.
is without the tongue, without the mind also. So first level is tongue, second level is mind, third level is zikre siri, which is known as the hidden zikr, which no effort is needed on your side. Everything is happening by itself. It's called the presence of the divine within your own self. So these are the three levels of zikr.
Thank you. I love the way you explain. I have one more question regarding the same subject. So I have heard in the past that if you stick your tongue to the upper dome of your mouth, somehow it allows your mind to go still faster. Do you have any perspective on that?
Thank you for that. So when I just talked with you, and I think I mentioned that after you have stopped chanting with the tongue, you chant with the mind. The tongue touches the upper palate. The tongue touches the upper palate. So this is your tongue, this is your palate. It stops there. Now, when your mind is moving, eyes are moving. They are connected. When the mind is moving, the tongue is also moving. This is one example. Now I'm talking because my mind is moving. When I'm thinking, my eyes moves also in the dream. When you're dreaming, eyes moves. Now, when you're thinking, even the tongue is moving, vibrations are there. Okay? Very important this to understand. Okay? So when your mind is thinking, even when your tongue is not moving, there are subtle vibrations in the tongue. So the tongue is connected with the mind as long as sensations, vibrations also. Now there is the concept in the realm of the mystics, it doesn't matter which mystics, those who want to go in whatever path, the tongue has to touch the upper palate.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
don't allow the tongue to move. When you don't allow the tongue to move, the mind stops.
Ah.
Mind stops
Okay.
because the mind initiates the tongue movement, and when you stop your tongue from moving, the mind stops moving. When a child is born, now listen to this. When the child is born in the mother's womb, from the esoteric perspective, from the yogic perspective, when in the mother's womb, the tongue is touching the palate. When the child takes birth, the tongue drops. Because the tongue drops, the mind starts to think and develop. The first breath that a child takes after birth, and the tongue drops. Because the tongue drops, your consciousness, which was one in the mother's womb, drops. You get caught in the realm of jismani. When the mother's womb, you are one with the divine. There's no time, there's no space. You don't have any concept of time, and you are just in your beingness. That is called who. Just your beingness, without your story. The moment the tongue drops, you come into the realm of time and space. So because your tongue dropped from the palate, you came into the world. Now, when you die, you cannot die until your tongue doesn't touches the palate.
Wow.
Your tongue must touch the palate for the death to be complete. I don't know if you have ever seen or experienced anybody, or you've done research or whatever. Your tongue must not touch the palate. As long as the tongue is not touching the palate, you cannot die. That's why, I don't know in the Islamic tradition, but in India, when a person is dying, we put water into the mouth so that there's saliva and the tongue doesn't touches the palate. The moment the tongue touches the palate, death can happen. If the tongue doesn't touch, you cannot die. So during birth, tongue came down. During death, tongue will have to go back. Now, tasawwuf, meditation, awakening is also same as birth and death experienced together. That is called tasawwuf, where you experience the two extremes of life. Meditation, awakening. Tasawwuf is when death and life seen together at one point. Nobody sees them together. Either you experience birth or either you experience death. And birth and death is there because of the tongue.
Wow.
This is what it means, falling from heaven. You know the story of falling from heaven? You fall from heaven, the tongue falls.
Yeah.
Adam. A means come, dam means breath. Adam means coming of the breath. When the Adam comes, you fall from the heavens.
Wow.
This is what it means, falling from the heavens. This is what happens at the time of birth. You were in the heavens and your tongue dropped, you dropped. Adam and Hawa. You know Hawa? Adam and Hawa? That's what you call it.
Yes.
Hawa means this is Hawa.
Right.
Adam and Hawa. Adam means Adam, coming of the breath, Hawa with the oxygen. So when the Hawa comes, oxygen, Hawa means air comes, and the Dam along with it, Adam and Hawa together falls from the paradise down. This is what it is.
Wow.
The fall from the paradise is falling down of the tongue. This is what
You're
means.
amazing. I love the way you explain things. This is just so incredibly amazing. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time.
Just let me complete this, okay?
Yes,
So
yes.
life and death both happen when the tongue is either up or down. Now, meditation, awakening, the presence of God is when you can experience both polarities together. Marana to paila marge bahu, Sultan Bahu, the great Sufi master. Marana to paila marge bahu, those who have learned to die before death. Tasawwuf.
Yeah.
It's called tasawwuf. You experience life and death together. And that is why in the deep experience of bandagi, in the deep experience of tasawwuf, the tongue must go up, because then only life and death experience can be experienced while the death is not yet come. Naam fakir, tinada bahu, qabr jinadi jive hu. This is your qabr. This is your qabr. Your ruh is inside this qabr. And most of us, our ruh is not alive. When the ruh becomes alive, the qabr becomes alive. And Sultan Bahu says, Naam fakir. They are darwish. What is the definition of darwish? Darwish is naam fakir. What is a fakir? Tinada bahu qabr. Jina di jive hu. Those who have awakened in their qabr. Who have awakened themselves in their qabr. It's not the qabr outside. It's the
Right.
This qabr, if you have awakened your ruh, and then you are a real darwish, you're a real, Sufi, a real fakir. And for tasawwuf to happen, the tongue must come and touch the palate. So this is the third level I talked about. First you chant with the tongue, then you chant with the mind, and then the third level, the tongue touches the palate. Because the tongue touches the palate, there is no movement here. Mind stops when the tongue touches the palate. And the moment that happens, you come into adab, you come into presence. And when this stops, when you are present, God is always present. You know, God has not gone anywhere. There's Baba Bulle Shah says, you are lost and you're finding God. You are lost, you're finding God. You have to find yourself. So when you come into the moment, when you come into your presence, in the sacred Quran, it is mentioned hu wal bagi. Ultimately, you have to go into the state of hu, which is your beingness. The moment you come into the now, the moment your presence, the moment your wajud ends and your majud goes away and your majud, your beingness come, God was always here. You were not present. Wow. God was always present.
Yeah.
So these techniques, these tools stops your wajud, okay, and gives you the presence which is majud. And Allah is a hazir all the time when you are hazir. It is majud when you don't have wajud. When your wajud goes away, majud comes. He was always majud. Hazir, hazur. He is always hazir and he's always hazur. But you are not there. So this gives you the anchoring, and that moment you and your divine is face to face, and ultimately you dissolve into it. The waves of the ocean becomes the ocean. And this is the experience of Wahadat al-Wajud. Your creator and you are one. You and the divine are one. That's what it is.
Wow. Okay. God bless you. You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So blessings to all of you. And we will have more time next time, and come with questions. And before you go, I would like to recite a poetry. I write poetry also, and this is most of my poetry are Sufi influenced. And so I will recite this poetry for you, which I wrote some time back, and it just happened to, I found it well written. So enjoy this poetry before we come to an end. And the poetry is, आकर भी नहीं आता, आकर भी नहीं आता, कुछ ऐसा है वो. आकर भी नहीं आता, कुछ ऐसा है वो. पीने वाले पी जाते हैं पूरा जाम. पीने वाले पी जाते हैं पूरा जाम, लेकिन प्याला भरा रहता है वो, पीने वाले पी जाते हैं सारा, लेकिन प्याला भरा रहता है वो। मिला है वो, मिला है वो मेरी रग रग में, मिला है वो मेरी रग रग में, लेकिन मिलकर भी नहीं मिलता है वो। प्यास रहती है, प्यास रहती है, लेकिन मिटती भी है। प्यास रहती है लेकिन मिटती भी है, नशा ऐसा है वो। योगी कौन है, क्या है, यहां है और वहां भी है वो. So it's a short poetry. I hope you enjoyed, and maybe next time I'll share more stuff. And other than that, thank you everyone who was here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Blessings to you. I'll see you soon. May the divine bless all of you with health, wealth, and prosperity, and the highest gift, and that is to listen to your own heartbeat.
Amen.
Amen.